Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Google, Vincent Paquette.
Hello everyone, my name is Vincent Paquette. I'm the product manager for Google Voice. So very excited to be here today to talk to you about something we've been working on for several months, namely the integration between Google Voice and Sprint. So we're going to have a little video a little later on, and then we'll give you details of what that means for users practically. But before we get into that, I want to take a second and go back to what Google Voice is and what it does for customers. So Google Voice is really putting all your communications in the cloud. Think of it as Gmail for your communication. So what we do is we take all your calls, all your SMS, put them in the cloud so that you can access them, on any device, any location. So there's a couple of features that stand out that I'll go over. The first thing and the most visible is obviously the one number. So the Google Voice number is the number that's going to reach you on all your phones. So you can set your Google Voice number so that it's going to ring, up to 6 phones, and it can ring different people based on who's calling, or different phones, sorry, based on who's calling or time of the day. So I can say that, people I don't know who call my Google Voice number would ring, say, my office. But if it's friend, it would ring my office phone and my cell phone. And if it's family, it could ring my home phone as well. And if I'm traveling or if I spend a lot of time in front of my computer every day, I can have it ring Gmail as well. Second, pretty important feature is the single voicemail. So I'm going to have one single number. There should be one single voicemail tied to it. So we have a voicemail in the cloud, accessible on the web. We do offer transcription of your voicemail messages sent to you by email or SMS. And then the third leg of the Google Voice product is a whole bunch of cool features, again, tied to the number. So I'll go over a few. Obviously, the integration with SMS, the fact that all your SMS sent to that number can be read online, can be answered from any of your phone that supports it, or from the web. International calling is a big one. Through Google Voice, you can place international calls at very low rates. We do, one of my personal favorites is the ability to listen in as a caller calls in, and then, I'm not sure if it's someone I want to talk to, so it's easy to listen to the caller as they leave a message, and then decide if I want to take the call or not. Think of it as the old answering machine that everyone had at home a few years ago, and that feature is now available from any of your phones. We do have other features like call switch, so if I take a call from my office phone, and then I need to go, it's easy for me to switch the call to my cell phone. I can drive home, switch it to my home phone, and the caller won't know I've switched phones twice. We do have other things like custom greetings, so that the people I care about actually in my life, I can set a custom greeting so that instead of having the formal general greeting, they would have something that's personalized. So my wife, my friends, or my top customers. Very easy to do through the web interface. So the list goes on. You have tons of those features, and again, the beauty is that they're all tied to the Google Voice number and available across all your phones. So we launched Google Voice 2 years ago under invite. We opened up to everyone in the US about less than a year ago. And today we have millions of users using the service. And so since the beginning, we've been working on features that would make it ever simpler to use the service. So we launched things like the mobile apps that let you make calls from any phone that display your Google Voice number. We did Google Voice Slides that made a subset of the Google Voice features available behind your mobile number. More recently, we launched porting as well. But since the get-go, we've always felt the ultimate in simplicity would be a complete integration between Google Voice and the phone you use the most, which is your cell phone. And that's what we're announcing today. So I'm going to show you a little video about it, and then afterwards we'll go into more details as to what that means for Sprint users.
With Google Voice, your phone number is more than just 10 digits. It's the main hub of your telephone communications. You get one number that rings all your phones. Transcribed voicemail sent to you via email and text message. Low-priced international calls. The ability to set up custom voicemail greetings, block unwanted callers, and much more. Sprint customers can now use their Sprint mobile number as their Google Voice number without having to get a new number for free and without additional fees or service disruptions. So now when someone calls your Sprint number, it can also ring your office, or your home, or even your Gmail account, depending on who's calling or the time of day. And if you already have a Google Voice number, calls made from your Sprint phone can display your Google Voice number automatically. To learn more about enabling Google Voice on your Sprint phone, visit google.com/voice/Sprint.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Sprint, Kevin McGinnis.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad everybody's here. I appreciate you taking some time out of your afternoon to share this with us. We're extremely excited about the opportunity to demonstrate the integration we've done with Google. I do want to take a second and thank Vincent and the team at Google for the fantastic partnership. The engineering team there has done an excellent job. The integration has been fantastic. They've taught us a lot about agile development as a carrier, and we appreciate that. What I want to highlight is just a few reasons that we think this is an extremely important event for Sprint. First and foremost, it highlights this concept of open that we've talked about for years now. The three major tenets that we talk about when we speak of open are the idea of consumer choice, the idea that customers should be in control of their experience, and what better way to demonstrate that than to let customers control the core telephony capabilities, the core messaging capabilities associated with their phones. So this is a big opportunity for us to demonstrate the idea of choice. The second one is enablement. Really, it's our opportunity to develop capabilities and services that allow service providers like Google to get their services and their content closer to the customers and really not focus on developing our own core features, but really leaning into the third tenet, which is innovation. Who better to demonstrate innovation than our partners out in Mountain View at Google? What I want to talk about now is what this means to Sprint, what this means to a user. So you've heard a lot of the great features. Vincent did a great job of describing all of the great capabilities, the feature-rich environment that Google Voice offers to consumers today. Now all of those are available to you as the primary interface, the primary experience behind your mobile phone. So in the past, consumers have had to choose between a multi-number solution, or they've had to choose an option to port their number to Google and then go get another wireless number and still have a two-number solution. Today, the number that you've had for years or the number that you choose to integrate with the Google Voice experience is your primary number. So there's no porting fees, there's no ETF, early termination fees. There's no clunky integration or clumsy interface on the mobile side. So what I want to do is talk a little bit about what's available to our consumers today. Many of these innovations, many of these product developments that we do as carriers are only available on smartphones, or they're only available on phones going forward. So typically these announcements, you get a time-bound launch window, and then we say on all devices after this you can get it, so you have a very small available base of users. With this integration, with this product enhancement that we're launching together with Google, it will be available on all Sprint CDMA phones when we launch. So customers that carry high-end smartphones like the Nexus S 4G, customers that carry newer Android devices that have launched in the last year or so, customers that carry Blackberries, that carry old feature phones, legacy devices, flip phones, they all have this feature-rich set of capabilities behind them as their core experience for mobile. So the other nice thing about this for us is we've kind of moved forward with this ease of integration. So again, not about porting your number, not about setting up a set of features and having to manage them on the mobile side and on the Google Voice side. We've made the provisioning and the integration of this very simple. And so I'll demonstrate for you exactly what I mean by that. Do we actually have wireless connectivity?
That's what I'm worried about.
Okay.
We've had issues with that.
So let me describe the experience to you. So what you would see here is they would go through, they would check the availability, you'd see those options on screen. One of the options would be to integrate your existing number. If you're familiar with the Google Voice interface, when you select a Google Voice number, you get a new number. In the upper right-hand corner of the portal, where you do all of your messaging, your voicemail interfaces, you control your call features, the things that Vincent described, like call forwarding setup, the ability to do personalized greetings and so on. You typically have that Google Voice number in the upper right-hand side. What would happen when you do this integration is that number would become your primary number. So all of the features that we've talked about in an instant, in a matter of seconds, would become integrated in behind your primary number. There's your option right there. So here we go. So now it's doing the integration. Calls to verify your number.
Welcome to Google Voice. Please enter your 2-digit verification code. Thank you. Your account is now active. To record your name and voicemail greeting, press 1. Or you can use your
So now you go through the process of setting up your account. You enter your PIN for voicemail access. You go ahead and integrate the account. It goes into the Sprint provisioning system, sets up the account you've established here on the Google portal into the Sprint provisioning system, so billing and all that is taken care of. At this point, you now have the number. So you finish the process. You have the ability to go back and change those settings that are described above. And as you see now, your Sprint number is the primary number behind your Google Voice account. So now all the features that Vincent talked about, again, are the primary service. So if someone calls your mobile device, the number you've probably had for years, the number that you have some personal attachment to, rather than giving out a new number to individuals, to your coworkers and so on, you have the ability to customize how those calls get routed based on categories you've set up for users and so on. When someone calls that mobile phone, it can ring multiple devices. So when I sit in the office now, as I'm using the service, I put my phone on the charger, I answer my phone calls all day, I do SMS, I track my voicemails that are transcribed on my PC while I'm working. When someone calls me, I have the ability, based on who it is, to route the call to a specific endpoint, whether it be my PC or whether it be another device, whether it be my home phone, my office phone, and so on. So a great unified communication service for consumers. What we want to do now is give you all the availability to see this firsthand. So we've set up demo stations on each side in the back here. So there's a station on this end and a station on this end where folks will be demonstrating the capabilities, answering questions about the integration, and giving you some examples of some of the exciting use cases that we think this offer has to bring. So thank you very much for your time and enjoy.